Hey, how's it going? It's been a minute. Oh man, I am tired. It's night. It's night. I don't really usually do the whole like night streaming thing, but today was kind of a day. Today got away from me a little bit, so I am just figuring it out today. But I did want to today. I had a goal of actually like getting through a stream. So we're gonna spend an hour today. It's gonna be pretty casual because it's nighttime, and I'm 40 now, and I get tired at night. So yeah, and also I don't know. Maybe no one's gonna show up because it's nighttime. Everyone should be sleeping right now. So today, what we're gonna do is we're going to cover the. I'm gonna be going through the new Kent C. Dodds. Or not new React Performance Workshop. We're going to be kind of going through it the way that we have gone through all of the other workshops, and just go through all the lessons and kind of make notes about things that are maybe a little bit hard to understand or read, or things that we could improve upon, and we will make some notes and make those improvements. So that is it. I've not gone through this module, so it'll be the first time for me. I have it all cloned, npm installed, and ready to go. This is going to be the only view that you get of me. I know sometimes I kind of switch back and forth, but I got this fun new device. I'm probably going to break everything if I hold it up. Yeah. Got this fun new device. Story time real quick. But this thing, Streamer X by Rode, it caught my attention because I have like a thousand things kind of like hooked up, and they've been really irritating, and this is just one thing that lets me do all this kind of stuff. So I'm super excited that my mic and my camera all go through this. It's beautiful. However, it like the first one I got, like it wouldn't, like the firmware wouldn't update for some reason, and so I was like really confused. I thought maybe I had bricked it or something, and then I just had to wait for support. I still haven't heard back from them, but fortunately, B&H, who's awesome, sent me a new one, and so that's what I'm working on today. But it's got all these silly things.
It's like I can like make my voice really high, which I'm sure sounds ridiculous. I just sound like me to me.
Or really low and sultry, I guess.
Um, anyway, just really hilarious stuff. But really, the fact is, I can just keep it all in one place, which is awesome. That's what I'm really excited about. That is neither here nor there, though. So I just wanted to explain it. I don't have anything set up yet, so that's why there's just this one view of me. Let's get into it, because you don't want to hear me yammer on about this stuff. So React Performance. What do you know? Tell me what you know. What kind of things you know? If you want to see any of the other workshops that we've gone through, I've done all of them up to this point. React Hooks, React Fundamentals, they're all on my YouTube channel, just YouTube at Chantastic. So what do we have? We're going to go through this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is a really chill time that we go through this. So yeah, let's dive in. So first thing that we're going to cover today is code splitting. Just want to make sure I don't have any effects on. Let me know if I do. That would be really silly. The chipmunk version of this. Okay, so we're just going to dive into this code splitting. So background, code splitting acts on the principle that loading less code will speed up your app. Say, for example, that you're building a complex dashboard application that includes the venerable D3 library for graphing data. Your users start complaining because it takes too long to load the login screen. So it's got to load all that stuff, and depending on the speed of the network and the speed of their computer and their browser, it could take a while before they see anything. It's funny because, this is one of those things that most of the time when I'm working at my desk with my wired connection, I just don't think about it much. And then anytime I'm on the road and I need to look something up real quick and I got a really lousy internet connection on my phone, it's just brutal. It's just the worst. I'm like, I just wish that I could just get just the piece of this thing that I need. Okay, so considering that performance problems can be resolved by less code, how can we solve this one? Well, do we really need to have that code for the chart when the user loads the login screen? No, we don't. We could load that on demand. Okay. What's up, naive coder? Hey. Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Theo? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. You must be super bored to be learning about React performance with me tonight. So thanks for hanging out. Okay, so luckily for us, there's a. Oh, did you get one of these Streamer X things? I'm using it for the first time, so just curious if you picked one up. I know you're excited about it. Luckily for us, there is a built-in way to do this with JavaScript standards. It's called a dynamic import, and the syntax looks like this. Okay, so we import, and then we do then. So we call this like a function instead of our usual import whatever from. Then do stuff with modules, exports, error. Okay, cool. So we get the module, and then we'll do stuff. Otherwise, don't do stuff. Learn more about dynamic imports in the browser in the super simple start to ES modules in the browser. So where does this go? This goes to undoubtedly another great blog post by Kent. Oh, heck yeah. The Duo looks super cool too. I've honestly never used any of the road products, this kind of road product before. And so far it seems pretty great. I like it. Except for the fact that I can't update the friggin' firmware on it. That is frustrating. Yeah, X was a bit buggy for me on Windows. They're working it out with a firmware update right now. The Duo has been fucking dream. I'm obsessed with it. Nice. Yeah, it must be nice to like not have the Rodecaster Pro is such a big device if you weren't using it for like a 4-person podcast. Oh, nice. Yeah, that looks like the play right now. I've been really wanting all of the other USB XLR hybrid mics to be like decent, and they're all kind of shit. Yeah, that was my experience too. Only updatable on Windows. Super terrible experience. Yeah, I can't use any of the Road Central stuff right now. It's a nightmare. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's like there's so many customizations that I can't do. It's just this little tiny box. But I mean, I do appreciate that it got rid of like I got to unplug like 10 cables. Okay, so to take this further, React has built-in support for loading modules as React components. The module must have React components as the default export, and you have to use the React suspense component to render a fallback value while the user waits for the module to be loaded. Okay, cool. So import star as React from React, function, smiley face, export, default smiley face. So this is one thing that's kind of tricky about Epic React right now for me, is having these kind of like faux modules in here. And something I'm really excited about fixing is that I think we're going to make a new kind of exercise runner, which will have actual modules, because there was one, I can't remember which workshop it was in particular, but it was just driving me mad that we were talking about modules, but everything was just a kind of in a single file. Okay, so in this case we have this, and so we would import React here. Let's see, const smiley face. So this is another file. I'm curious if we're gonna like even attempt to do this in another or in a single file, because that would be just silly. React.lazy, we're gonna import smiley face, which will assign it to smiley face here in this component, and then we'll render that. And because we're lazily loading it, we have to use a React suspense. Okay, cool, no problem. Okay, so one great way to analyze your app to determine the need benefit of code splitting for certain feature page interaction is to use the coverage feature of the developer tools. You know, I don't know if I've used this. I am very bad at actually utilizing the dev tools, do a lot of. I know the console API pretty well, like all of the different like table and you know whatever. I use a lot of those, but that's about it. Like I advanced console log is about as far as I go in the dev tools. I don't love the MV7. Not a fan. Not a fan. Maybe it's just because it has a big ass Shure like on every. They have like 5 Shure logos in bright white on it, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Uh, okay, so one great way to analyze your app to determine the need. Oh yeah, we already got through that. Okay, so the exercise, product deploys. Okay, so our app has a neat globe component that shows the user where they are on the globe. Cool, right? It's super duper fun. Super duper. Okay, so this is our globe component. So we have the show globe. Know your location. Ooh, okay. Allow. Open settings. This is like my stream browser setup. So, shit. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, the thing that irritated me is that it sounds so much better via USB than it does via the XLR. That was the thing that just drove me batty. I did a bunch of, I have so many just random ass, let's see, dev, shoot, what was it? Shoot. I don't even remember where it is. Notes. Do I have? My site is such garbage, but MV7. Okay, yeah. I have a bunch of samples up here that I recorded when I got the mic because I'm a big dork. And I was just so, I remember thinking that I hated the way it sounded. And then I was just so shocked to find out that so much of the way that it sounds, like, you know, in all the advertising stuff is some processing that they're doing inside the mic, you know, and you only get it via USB, which just made me so sad. So sad. Sure. Used to be the GOAT. Okay, so our app has a neat globe component that shows the user where they are on the globe. Cool, right? But one day our product manager came along and said that users are complaining the app is taking too long to load. You're using several sizable libraries to have the really cool globe, but users only need it to load if they click the show globe button, and loading it ahead of time makes the app load slower. Yes, it does. So your job as a performance professional is to load the code on demand so the user doesn't have to wait to see the checkbox. Okay, let's do that. So with this one, you'll need to open the final in isolation and opened the Chrome DevTools Network tab to watch the Webpack chunks load when you click Show Globe. Your objective is to have the network load those same chunks so they're not in the bundle to begin with. Here's a quick tip. In the Network tab, there's a drop-down for artificially throttling your network speed. It defaults to online, but you can change it to fast 3G or slow GG at slow 3G, etc. Also, spend a bit of time playing with the coverage feature of the DevTools as noted above. Okay, you may also want to try running the production build so you can see what the sizes are like post modification. Run npm. Okay, cool. Okay, so we need to open this in isolation, so we're going to do that. We have the same thing. Open up the DevTools and see our network tab. We'll go to throttling. Let's try slow 3G. Usually that's insufferable. So let's try it again. Okay, so we're seeing that we don't see that thing show up for a really long time, and then we can click the globe and it's there. Okay, so let's make this fast 3G so it's at least sufferable, I guess. Okay, cool. Got that. Okay, so this is exercise 1 in here, so we have got to familiarize with all this again. So we have source, final, exercise 1. Okay. Gosh. Okay, cool. So code splitting exercise, import star as React from React. Remove this import. Okay, so we're going to take that import out like that. That is most assuredly going to break things because we no longer have globe. So use React Lazy to create a globe component, which uses a dynamic import to get the globe component from globe module. Okay, we can do that, no problem. So React.lazy, we're going to say const globe. I generally hate const, but I like it when paired with these imports like this. So globe equals React Lazy. I think it's like, what is it? It's a function like this. And then we import globe like that, I think. Is that it? Okay, so it's doing all that. And then we click the button and then it all disappears because I probably broke something. Okay, let's jump back to this and make sure that I did this right. Been so long since I wrote React, forgot how. Okay, React Lazy, yes, we give it a function. React.lazy. Import, we give it a path. Okay, so that, oh, right, I gotta put it in suspense. Just follow the instructions, dude. Okay, so wrap the code below in React Suspense. Yes, so we really just need to wrap the globe, I think, right? So can we do it like this? Okay, let's put the React Suspense up there for now, and then we'll just move it around. So React Suspense, and then we need to add a fallback. Okay, fallback, optional prop. Actually, we can just have it be whatever. Strings are fine. Okay, so let's hit reload again, and we should see whatever. Okay, whatever, only when it loads. Okay, so now that was around the whole thing. So we saw it kind of shift out of view, like everything went away while it was loading that thing. So now we want to kind of put this as close to our globe usage as possible. So we just move that in, we'll wrap just the globe. And so now we shouldn't have that UI jump. So if I refresh this, we should see our button pop in. We shouldn't see whatever during this phase of it. It still took a long time, but let's watch the network tab and see what happens. So we hit that. We saw the source globe index.js chunk pop in, and then we saw the UI, and then it didn't happen again because now we have that chunk, which is great. Cool. Great. Okay, that's awesome. Now I want to look at the. Okay, any questions so far? If anyone's chilling with me tonight, let me know if you got any questions. This pretty simple so far, so nothing too exciting. Okay. All right, where was there was a note about production deploys the coverage feature. Okay, so let's look at this coverage feature. I would love to learn more DevTools processes. Okay, so the coverage tab in Chrome DevTools can help you find unused JavaScript and CSS code. Removing unused code can speed up your page load and save your mobile users' cellular data. Okay. A word of warning. Okay, so overview JavaScript. Okay, open the coverage tab. So open the command menu. run commands in the command menu. Okay, I think it's what, Control P or something like that. We'll bring that up. Start typing coverage, select show coverage command, and then press enter. Okay, cool. Okay, so okay, show coverage. Okay, so now we have coverage in this. So we have console and coverage. Click the reload button to reload and start capturing. Okay, so it's reloading. Awesome. If we hit this, what happens? Cool. Okay, so how do we read this? Okay, so that's how we enable it. Record code coverage. Click one of the following buttons. Start instrumenting coverage and reload page, which we did. Click the instrument coverage if you want to see what code is used after interacting with the page. Click the stop instrumenting coverage and show results when you want to stop recording code coverage. Okay, cool. So we'll hit this stop recording. So what information does it give us? So it gives us the, I guess, like URL of the chunk that was the got chunk, the size, and then the unused bytes. Okay, cool. Interesting. I've never used that tab. Super exciting. So analyze code coverage, sources panel. So it looks like, okay, unused bytes, column number. The last unnamed column is a visualization of the total bytes, and the unused bytes column, the red section of the bar, is the unused bytes. Okay, cool. So we can see here. So example, like here we have this, our primary JavaScript bundle, and we see that, what is it? Is that 77% of it is unused? That's pretty wild. So that's interesting. I had not seen that before, so obviously it might be nice to get some of that number down, which is kind of cool. An interesting way to step through that. All right, so we did the exercise. Let's go through the extra credit. Okay, eager loading. Okay, eager loading. So it's great. It's great that the users can get the app loaded faster, but it's annoying that 99% of the time, the reason the users are using the app is so they can interact with our globe. We don't want to have to make them wait first to load the app and then again to load the globe. Wouldn't it be cool if we could have globe start loading as soon as the user hovers over the checkbox? So if they mouse over or focus the label for the checkbox, we should kick off the dynamic import for the globe module. Oh, this is pretty slick. So if we can make, see if we can make that work. Hint, it doesn't matter how many times you call import as a function, Webpack will only actually load the module once. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna go to, I guess the extra credit is not listed in here. Exercises, yeah, there's not a dedicated extra credit for this. So note, if you're not in an isolated page, then you will notice that this app actually already has React suspense component higher up in the tree where this component is rendered. So you could just rely on that. That's funny. Okay, extra credit. So how would we do this? I have not gotten components like this before, so this will be interesting. Okay, so right now we have, let's see, label on change. So only when the state changes do we do anything. But the suggestion was that we could do something on mouse over. see, on mouse, enter. Let's see, what did they say? What did you say, Kent? Kindle the globe. Okay, cool. See if they mouse over or focus the label. Okay, so we have the label. We're gonna have some kind of handler here. Just make sure that works. Great. Okay, so are we able to do it in there, or do we have to wrap it in a function? I mean, same thing, I guess. So let's just do this. So change that to a let so we can change it. And then we'll just do this. See what we can do. React lazy. Take this, import globe, and then if it's successful, we're going to get a module which we can assign to globe equals module, like that. And then I can't. Oh yeah. Then we have another function which is going to be the error. Which will just alert oops, which I 100% expect to happen there. I guess we could also, yeah, whatever, that's fine. If we don't hit that, that'll be a miracle. But if we do, then we'll have to fix it. Okay, so let's see, hit this. What do we get? Oh, we're still on that slow 3G. It is nice little touch that they put this on there. Okay, no throttling. So we are in the clear again. Refresh. I'm gonna hit show globe, and we get nada. So what happened here? Okay, check the render method of app. Okay, I'm looking in the render method of app above. Oh, right. Okay, so okay, I'd have to put this around the label too, I think, right? I'm like so just spitballing. It's always fun when you do stuff. Yeah, I just like did design system stuff for a really long time, so I like hardly ever played with performance stuff. So this is just fun to play with new things. Okay, so that didn't work. So clearly I'm missing something. Okay, check the render method of app. I'm in the render method of app. Let's see, element type. Now I legitimately don't think that I can do this, but I'm interested to see what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Maybe I need to assign it here. I don't think that matters per se, but okay. I'm gonna fast track this because I don't want to be up all night. We're gonna go to final extra credit 1 and just kind of take a peek at what is here. Okay, so we have, okay, so load globe. Okay, import globe. Okay, so load globe. So we have a function. Okay, so we're doing this same thing, except it's in a named function now, which is fine. On mouse enter load globe. Oh. Interesting. Oh, okay. That's fascinating to me that, okay, so let's put this back. Well, big mess. Big mess. What have I done? That was a stupid decision. Okay, so we got through to our alert. Okay, so we have, okay, so const globe, react lazy. Okay, so first things first, we're going to pull this out into load globe. Good Lord. What have I done? One thing that I really suck at is mixing Command Z and the Vim U, and it, I swear, puts a hurt on me every time. Okay, so mouse enter. Okay, and then we're going to, let's see. So we're changing. Okay, delete inside. So we're calling this let load globe. And we're going to call load globe here, and on mouse enter, load globe. Okay. I think that's what we got. And then also focus, right? Focus, load globe. Okay. So let's reload that. Focus is invalid. On focused. Okay. So should be similar now. So we're gonna go, I'm just gonna close this and go back to just the network. This is what we have loaded here, and if we hover over, crazy. Now it's so interesting to me that, okay, so on those events we're calling this function, which is actually going to do the, so that's when we call it. Oh, interesting. Fascinating. Okay, so I guess I don't think I realized with these dynamic imports, I had assumed like timeline wise it was, yeah, I was still kind of like in that mental mindset of it importing here, but that's not how it works. It was like when it actually goes to render that component, does it do that? But we can call that function and make it available beforehand. That is super cool. Okay, so one last time, we reload. We have all of these chunks, but not all of them. As soon as we hover, we get that. And then let's test focus too. So tab. I don't think that worked. No, it did. Okay, cool. Yeah, as soon as I hit tab in there, it pulls that up, and then it's available to us right away. Very cool. So in the case, so let's do our slow network again. So, or fast 3G network. So we get this, it's going to show us the show globe. And then as we hover over it, it's going to start loading that, which makes it immediately available as soon as it's, I mean, available as soon as it's loaded, which, could buy us, hundreds of milliseconds or, full seconds, which is kind of cool. So I think they call this like intent, like, what is it? Eager loading based on intent, which is cool. Okay, cool. I learned something new. I've never done that before. Number 2, Webpack Magic Comments. Okay, if you're using Webpack to bundle your application, then you can use Webpack Magic Comments to have Webpack instruct the browser to prefetch dynamic imports. Okay, so import. Magic components to Webpack instruct the browser to prefetch your dynamic imports. Okay, import Webpack prefetch true. When Webpack sees this comment, it adds this to your document's head. Link prefetch as script this chunk. Okay, that's pretty cool. What if there's I'm curious now if there's a Vite prefetch. Dependency pre-bundling. Okay, does it have kind of the same results with like a script tag? So why? CommonJS and UDM compatibility during the development. Vite's dev serves all code as native ESM. Therefore, okay. Vite prefetch all assets modules. Okay. I'm going to look more into this later, but that is a kind of interesting to do that we could discuss, just because I think there's a lot of interest in there is a lot of interest in Vite, and I think having a solution based on Vite in addition to Webpack, or maybe even talking about it before Webpack, would be nice. So let's see. So this is what exercise 1, extra 2, Vite prefetching. Oh, did I say pre-bundling instead of No, I said prefetching. Prefetching. So I don't know. Maybe that's screwing me up. Okay. Okay. So with this, the browser will automatically load this JavaScript file into the browser cache, so it's already ahead of time. The change itself is minimal, but pull up the dev tools to make sure it's loading properly. You'll need to uncheck the disable cache button to observe any changes. Okay, so oh, nope, we want to go to our isolated over here, open this, we'll go to network, hit that disable cache button, run that again. And here we need to add that little line that it was talking about, import some module, Webpack prefetch true as a comment. Okay, and now back over here, let's see what we got. So it's gonna load the code that we, no throttling. Okay, it's gonna load that. And then I think it should have loaded this. I'm not sure though. Okay, maybe I didn't spell it right. Webpack prefetch with a capital P, I believe. Let me copy it just to be sure. Webpack prefetch equals true. So that's going to, it adds this to your document head. So we can look for that just to see if we got it. With this, the browser will automatically load the JavaScript file into your browser cache so it is ready ahead of time. Okay, so let's, it said it would be in the head, right? So there would be a script tag. Yeah, prefetch vendor, static.js vendor, node modules, yada, yada. Yeah, so it's the D3 chunk. Okay, but did it do that? Okay, so let's do throttling on again to see if how this works. Because maybe it is just doing it in the background, but it's not part of the shown network yet. Maybe there's like a hidden network. No, it still took time. Okay, let's see if there's any details here. I'm not super great at reading all of this stuff, but we'll kind of... Okay, the change itself is minimal, but pull up the DevTools to make sure it's loading properly. You'll need to uncheck disable cache. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is size pre-fetch cache. Interesting. Okay. So do it again. Cool. Nifty. Learned even more new things. Okay. About DevTools, all of it. Look at this. I'm going to be a pro developer by the time I finish learning how to teach this thing. Okay. Another thing. Places I find myself in. It's fun. Then inexplicably me. Okay, so it's getting to be that time. It's almost, what is it? 10:10. Yeah, that's bedtime for me. Okay, another thing which you won't cover in this, workshop, but you should look into later is using the Webpack chunk name magic comment, which will allow Webpack to place common modules in the same chunk. This is good for components which you want loaded together in the same chunk to reduce multiple requests for multiple modules, which will likely be needed together. Very cool. You can play around with this in the example code splitting directory. Okay, cool. I am not going to do that. But let's see. I don't know. You think we can squeeze use memo in 10 minutes? I think we could. Yeah. Any questions so far? You got any questions about like the Webpack stuff? I'd love to know. Let me know. Throw them at me. All this stuff is new to me. So, I mean, if you have any questions, I'm happy to hear them because, you know, I'm sure you've thought about things that I haven't thought about yet. Okay, so let's move on to this use memo. We're going to get as far as we can before we, before we move on, or before I, go to bed. Let's see. So I'm going to go to 2JS. Okay, so use memo for expensive calculations. So we've done a couple of the hooks in previous lessons, but this one is kind of on the performance side of things. So we're going to talk about the use memo, and I assume use callback, maybe. We'll see. Okay, so use memo for expensive calculations. I always appreciate when someone has an example set up for this, because making an example is like a real big pain in the butt. React hooks are amazing. Being able to put all of the logic and state management within a function component, the render method equivalent for a class, allows for mind-blowing composability. Okay, so I feel like we could probably just like across the board remove anything that mentions a class as like the default state. As a reference point, just because I mean, just ain't nobody use those anymore. And I don't know. We could have some additional lessons that cover that kind of stuff, but I feel like things like this probably not necessary because people just aren't coming from that context anymore. I feel like learning class is really more of that kind of. You have to learn it if you're addressing a legacy code base, but if you're writing newer React or properly migrated React, you're probably not seeing this a lot. So I don't know. Definitely not so. Shouldn't be such a high focus in like a kind of learning React course, I don't think, anymore. The power comes with an unfortunate with the docs change. Sorry, I should say that specifically. Having new docs is kind of like really the biggest change for all of this, because as of a few months ago, before we had the new docs, having to refer to classes all the time was important because that's what the docs refer to, which just feels nutty to me that was just, I don't know, a few months ago, but I digress. Okay, this power comes with an unfortunate limitation that calculations performed within render will be performed every single render, regardless of whether the inputs for the calculations change. For example, okay, we have function distance. Takes an object with an x and y. Let me bump that up a little bit. Oop, too close, a little too close. Okay, const distance, calculate distance, x and y, return div. The distance between x and y is distance. Okay, cool. And then we get that from the function there. Okay. If that component's parent re-renders, or if we add some unrelated state to the component and trigger a re-render, we'll be calling calculate distance every render, which could lead to performance bottlenecks, because in addition to re-rendering our component, we're calling that function every time, even if the props didn't change. This is why we have the use memo hook for React. So what does this look like with use memo? So instead of calling the function directly, we will wrap it in a function and just pass it all to use memo. Now, the cool thing about use memo is this. So it's like, I think a lot of people end up using use effect first, because, use effect is something that you have to do pretty much anything in build any components in React. And so the cool thing about this is it has a really similar API where you say don't call this unless one of these values changes. So this input array is kind of common across use effect, use memo, etc. Yes, moving on. This allows us to put the calculation behind a function, which is only called when the result actually needs to be reevaluated, when the dependencies change. In the example above, the array x, y are called dependencies, or I don't know. I know that names change all the time in these docs, but I'm pretty sure they were called inputs at one point. Yeah, dependencies. Interesting. Okay, so I need to adjust my language on that. So in use effect, use memo, etc. These are all called dependencies now, which totally makes sense. Good to know, or good to catch up on. So much I've missed. Called dependencies, and React knows that so long as those do not change, the result of our function will be the same as the last time the function was called. Okay, so use memo and its sibling use callback is nuanced and should not be applied in all cases. Read more about that here, where Kent has a blog post, which we will not go into right now. Okay, so for this exercise, we have a menu component that's calling a get items function every render. This function is really slow because it's attempting to sort thousands of items based on the user's filter input. Your job is to improve performance by wrapping get items in React use memo. To observe the performance problem with get items, open the Chrome DevTools performance tab. Okay, let's do this step by step. Fewer things to forget. Okay, so we're going to open this up. We're going to open our DevTools. We're going to go to the Performance tab. Click the Settings gear and set CPU from no throttling to 6x slowdown. Love all of these insights into the Chrome DevTools. So gear. Over here, CPU throttling, 6x slowdown. Very cool. We're going to turn the network off. I feel like between these two, that'd be a bad day. Okay, so 6x slowdown. Then select any item from the dropdown. Next, click the record circle icon in the DevTools to start recording. Then click on force re-render and then click the record circle again to stop recording. Okay. So we have the record circle there. We're going to select, you selected, okay. Great. So we're going to hit record. We will hit force re-render. Oh, it was recording. Stupid. Okay. Okay, any selection. You selected Fort Hunt. Okay. Then we're going to hit record, and then we're going to hit force re-render. Recording network activity. Oh, I'm in the network tab. Mother lover. Okay. Force re-render. And then stop recording. Is that, did I do that right? I'm so sorry. It's so painful. Okay, next click the record circle icon in the DevTools to start a recording. Then click the force re-render and then click record circle again and stop the recording. You'll notice the get items was called when it should not have been, and it took a long time to run. Your goal is to make it so get items is only called when the filter changes. Okay, so I'm gonna need help reading this, but I can definitely tell that there's a red line there. I can see a red line. Red lines are, in Western civilizations usually mean not good or slow. If this were China, it means like good luck and awesome, but whatever, and money. But yes, that's neither here nor there. In this case, it means slow. I know that. Okay, so task. So let's see, long task. Okay, so that's what we got. It just says task. Is task part of our code? Let's see. I don't see a task in there, so. Let's see. We got another one over here. Can we jump over to that? Task. Okay, cool. So long times. Tasking long times. Okay, is only called when the filter changes. Okay, so there have been reports of issues running this exercise. It's inexplicable, but some have found that a solution is to simply edit the source filter cities.js file, add a comment or a console log in there, and magically things start working again. Amazing. These are like people who These are like hacker types who know how to do exploits. That's not me. I am not that type. Bonus points if you can figure out what's going wrong and fix it in whatever library is messing things up. Sorry for the trouble. That's funny. Oh yeah, this React course is super intense. This is I don't know, module 5 of like 7, I think. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Kent spent a lot of time on this thing, so it's fun to learn. Yeah, this is epicreact.dev. And I am going through the free open source versions of the course, but that one includes, all of the lessons and everything, videos, etc. Okay, so add comments console.log. Okay, so that is not, this is not how we're solving it. We're going to solve it with use memo. So let's find what we need to do. So it's get items is the issue here. So get items, filter, return all, match, sort. Okay, so get items. So how are we going to change get items to only run on re-render? So let's find, what is it? Command Shift F12, other places. Okay, so we have import get items and then all items equals get items. So wrap get items in a call to React use memo. Okay, so had I just read the instructions, it would have told me to do so right here. Okay, so we're going to react.use memo this. Remember, we put this inside of a function, and then as a second argument, we add our dependencies list, which is only going to include input value, because that's the only thing that is the only argument this function is called with. Or what is it? Parameter argument. I can never remember which side. I think there are arguments on the receiving side and parameters on the sending side or calling side. Okay, cool. So we did that. Now, theoretically, this should only run in the event that this state changes. So let's test that theory. Okay, so we're going to hit return. We're going to select something. We made that selection. We're now going to hit record again. We press force re-render, and then we hit record again to make it stop. And still see a big red bar. So is that is you is or is you ain't my baby? Okay. Okay, so we did do this. Let me make sure that I didn't miss an instruction. There were a lot of instructions. Actually, it might be nice if the if the instructions were in some kind of list. I'm a big fan of let's see, instructions in list format. Big fan of lists for things like this. Okay, success slowdown, we did that. Then select any item from the drop-down menu. Did that. Next, click the record circle icon in the DevTools to start recording. Did that. Then click the force re-render and then click record circle again to stop the recording. Did all that. You'll notice that get item was called when it should not have been. Okay, so maybe it's not tasks that we're supposed to be looking at. Can we filter these? Can we search here? Okay, get task. Okay, so maybe that was when it first renders, and then this is the update, except that seems weird. Okay, so interactions, okay. Watch Chan learn DevTools is is really what I should have called this thread. Okay, so what do we have? So up here we have force re-render. Okay, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna add Edna. Okay, force. Oh, interesting. Okay, so last time it seemed like it didn't work. Okay, maybe it's because I keep selecting the wrong person. It said any, but okay. Let's select Edna and see what happens. Okay, select Edna. Okay, now we're gonna hit record. We're gonna hit force re-render as the instructions say, and we're gonna hit record again. Okay, so what do we get? Task. So we want to know if I can filter this down in any way. I'm just not sure what I'm looking for. Okay, so function call anonymous. I want to see, I want to find get. Was it get? Okay, so, Sorry, I'm sure that was really lovely sound to have into a microphone. Okay, you'll notice that get items was called when it should not have been, and it takes a long time to run. Your goal is to make it so get items is only called when the filter changes. Okay, let's see if we can unimprove this. Okay. Okay, refresh. Okay. Just do the first one. We select it, record, force refresh, stop. Now it said that there were, was it interactions? Interaction type pointer up. Okay, so this is when I click the thing right here. Okay, so that's when I click the button. Let's grab processor, composite, okay, interactions, timing, okay. Interaction pointer down. So I guess that's when I clicked down, and then this is when I clicked up. So all of this is after that. Oh, here's get items. Okay, way down there. Okay, so it takes 6 milliseconds. Okay. So we find our click, and then, okay, so I don't know, maybe some like visual, So visual illustration of what to look for in the performance tab would maybe be nice to know that we found it. Okay, so we had our, what was it? If I put this down, we had our click, right? So we had our pointer down, we have our pointer up, and then here, in here, we have app and then get items. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna change this back to our kind of performance improved version. Do this. We're going to hit that again, make our selection, hit record. Wait, no, I'm gonna stop that. Okay, so we're gonna hit record, we're gonna hit force render, we're going to stop, and then see what happens. We can find our event. So this is our pointer down and our pointer up events. Now, I believe it will happen on pointer up, I think. Actually, maybe not. Maybe it happened on pointer down. Okay. It does feel like we're not seeing that anymore, though. Okay, do we have app? Yeah, cool. So it just has app here. So if we hit record again and we filter different results, so let's hit record again. We're going to clear that and then hit Bear Creek. Okay, we should see get items again, which does take a while. On select, so event clicks, let's see, where are our clicks? So interaction pointer up, interaction pointer up. So both of those took forever. Let's see where we do see get items. Okay, cool. Awesome. So get items is still there. It's still running. It's still taking a long time, but it only gets called not when we hit force re-render, but when we change the filter items, which makes sense. That's when it should be getting called. I think this is, I think that's right, but you know, we'll see. Okay, let's see if we can knock these extra credit out. I would love to get through, have gotten through 2 lessons tonight. That would be dreamy. Again, any questions from that? Let me know. I think we tackled it. I think looks kind of like it. I will definitely be checking the video off air to make sure that I got it right, or that I understand what I'm looking for. Okay, when doing this kind of profile measuring to determine how slow something really is, it's very important that you make sure that the code you're profiling is the same code your users will run. React has a lot of stuff it does in development mode to make your development experience good, but that slows down React considerably. So for this, you'll need to run the app in production mode. To do this, you need to run npm run build and npm run serve. Okay, I think it's over here. Yes. So npm run build. Oh, sorry, that's probably really boomy without being able to EQ it out. Okay, so creating an optimized production build, browser list, can I, okay, yeah. Hi. Okay, npm run serve. Okay, so we're gonna get that at localhost 3000, updates on the latest version of serve. Okay, I think. Yeah, npm run serve. Okay, so I think we're in the performance, the bundled version of this. Okay, then open up the app on the port it shows will probably be 5000, and it'll also be copied to the clipboard. then run all your profiling on that. Compare it to before, much faster. Okay, so we're gonna do that. I think, yeah, okay, so before, this little bug was saying that it wasn't a production build, so it is a production build. So we are able to see that with the DevTools. Okay, great. So we got that. We're going to, okay, use memo for expensive calculations. We're going to open this in a isolated thing. We're going to hit this. We're going to select something. Okay, hit record. Let's clear the filter. Okay. Add something else. Okay. Force re-render. All right. We got 10 seconds of profiling. Let's see. These are our events. There was some layout shift, but so this is interesting because we can't see the component names anymore because they've all been like obfuscated in the function names and whatnot. So we can't see what is running. I didn't feel it being sluggish to me, so it's kind of okay, so I guess I'll use that as context now as we move back to the other version. Oops, nope, npm. Okay, cool. So now we have that open again. Okay, so now we have this, which is saying it's in development, development build. So honestly, I don't see it being not snappy. Oh, this got reset. That's why. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's considerably less snappy. Yeah. So I'm actually like losing letters. So I typed like 8 letters and only 2 got in. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay. So that is important. Okay. So let's go back over here now. I think that we should still have a build available. So we're going to run that. Yes, we see the production there. We still have the 6x slowdown. Let's re-render. I don't know if it's... I mean, it is snappier. I don't know if it's much snappier. I don't know. I don't know. I think I probably did the right thing, but unclear. Some of these performance things are really hard to test, to be honest, because I have the slowdown, but it's iffy. Okay, so what do we have? Number 2, extra credit 1. Yeah, there's no code change. It's just the same thing. You know, I just realized that my air conditioning stopped like forever ago, and it's hot as balls in here. I'm like probably sweating. Stupid. Okay. Where was I? I got all flustered thinking about how hot I am. Put get items into a web worker. Okay, warning. This one's really cool, but kind of tricky. Also, the intent isn't necessarily for you to learn web workers, but just to expose you to a good use case for them. You can get started learning about web workers here at kenziedas.com/blog/speed up your app with web workers. What a great title for a post about speeding up apps with web workers. Okay. It's awesome that we reduced our how often we have to call get items. Unfortunately, on low power devices, get items is still quite slow when it actually does need to run, and we'd like to speed it up. So The product manager decided that we need to ditch match sorter in favor of a simpler string includes. Because the experience is not fast enough, even though match sorter does provide a much superior UX. No, you urge. We must have the better UX. There may be ways to optimize match sorter itself, but let's try throwing this all into a web worker instead. Since you've got extra time, update the import from import get items from filter cities to import get items from workerized filter cities. And then you need to handle the fact that items is asynchronous. You don't need to make many changes at all. And all of your changes will be in your exercise file. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna change this, as it said, from from filter cities to workerized filter cities. Thank you, autocomplete. Then you need to handle the fact that get items is asynchronous. You don't need to, okay. Because work with web workers is asynchronous, you'll probably want to use the use async utility found in source utils. Take a peek. It has an example for how to use it. Okay, so use or what is it? Utils. Okay, so we have a use async util. Okay, so this is what it does. Okay, so it's dealing with promises, sets up this interface for loading and whatnot, which looks very suspensey to me. Okay, usage, const, data, error, status, run, use async, react, use effect, run, fetch Pokemon. Okay, so we're gonna call this in a use effect. We're gonna call run from use async. Okay, let's just copy this all. Okay, so okay, we gotta import use async from utils. Use async from utils. Thank you again. Autocomplete. Love the module autocomplete on the named exports. That's pretty great. Does an okay job at defaults too. It's just a little bit weird that you end up having to rename things if you don't like the guest name. Okay, so now we need to go to the place where we do get items. Okay, and in here we're going to say const data, error, status, and run is from use async. Then we're going to call use effect. We're going to call run. I don't know if we need these like that yet. We don't need them yet. So run, and then we're going to do our, let's see, what are we using this for? Get items. In the just total wrong place. Okay. I guess we So we're going to call that for get items. So when run changes or get item, no, input value changes. Okay, so how do we assign them to items? I don't think this works like this, but let's see. So let's see. So how do we do this? Okay, so fetch Pokemon. Oh, data. So items equals data. Sorry. All items equals data. Okay, let's try that. Note also for this one, to really get a sense of the performance improvements, you want to run, okay, I don't really, I just want to make sure that I got it working. And then I want to go to bed. It's bedtime. Okay, so mostly I just want to make sure that it still works. Okay. If I like just delete that, it should break, right? Or not. All right, so let's look at the, oops. So 2 extra credit, 2, and let's see what we got. Okay, so, oops, that's 1 extra credit, 2 extra, 2. Okay, so import async, oh, okay, so I have two on 2 different lines, not a big deal, I don't think. Okay, so the extra, too many windows. Okay, so all that looks the same. I think we need to jump here to our app, which is where we have the force render. Okay, so how does this look? Did we do it the right way? Okay, so input value. Okay, so we have all that. Okay, so const data. Oh, so we can do, yes. Okay, so we're going to take data as all items. Just cosmetic change there, but same nonetheless. Items, all items, slice. Okay, use effect. Get items, input value. Yes, we added the right dependencies. Yes, const items, all items, slice. Yes, we kept that line. And then, yeah, I guess it just, works now. Okay, I will say for the snappiness of it, it's actually catching all of the keystrokes now. So that's good. I can't really imagine it being snappier. Oh shoot. It was on the build, production build. Whoops. So if I broke it, now we're going to find out that I broke it. Okay, console. Yes. Okay. This is more in line with what I was expecting. I was on the production tab. Okay, cannot read properties of null reading slice. Okay. So all items run async. Okay, so I did not call it with default data. It looks like data is an empty array. Status is pending by default. I think that is the one thing that I did not do. Argument passed to use async must be a promise. Okay, well that's odd because this is clearly not a promise. Data, all items run. Just gonna make it as close as possible. Use async. Takes an object, data, which is an empty array, status, pending. Okay. Just to be extra sure. Okay, React use effects. Okay, run. Get items. Sure does all feel like the same to me. The argument passed to run must be a promise. Interesting. I must have unintentionally deleted that. Okay, so that's the workerized version. Okay, workerized filter cities. Get items is not a function. Is not a function. Okay, so let's look at this code. Okay. Get items, const get items, export. Okay, so I have a make filter cities worker. Okay, yes, Lin, no webpack. Okay. I mean, yeah, so default, that's not right. So we save that. Okay. Adding an error boundary to the tree to customize the error handling. Oh, do we need a suspense? No suspense boundaries, it doesn't look like, at least not on this level. So the app level, we don't have it. Okay, let me do something real quick. I'm gonna copy this whole thing. It still breaks. Okay, well, at least that's okay, so for extra credit too, if for some reason you're getting a type error, workerized filter cities webpack module doesn't exist. Workerized filter. Okay, so let's make sure all this stuff is here. So make filter city workers. So dot filter workerize. Okay. Cons get items. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Curious. Man, that is a very unsatisfying way to end, but that is the last one. And the full example is also broken. What a bummer. Oh well, so it goes. Well, I wish it would have been a more satisfying way to end, but it is not. So sadly, we must end because, I like to get to bed. It is, let's see. So yeah, so what we've been, just as a recap, what we've been going through is the Kent C. Dodds workshop for Epic React at epicreact.dev. I'm going through the performance workshop. We got through two tonight, which was really cool. If you want to, if you found this helpful and you want to see more videos like this, you can go to live on my YouTube channel where you're at right now. Oh, look, there we are. And you can just hit, oh, that's not what I wanted. That's us. But yeah, if you go to the live page, you'll see some other workshops that I have covered as well, which may be helpful to you. So if you, want to go through the rest of the workshops with me, then subscribe and like this if you liked it. So thanks for being here, for hanging out for so long. If you have any other workshops you'd like me to cover, let me know. I'm always happy to learn along with you. Anyway, I'm Chantastic. If you're going to be in Utah this year at React Rally, I'll be teaching some stuff there, so you can go sign up over there if you like live workshops. I'm going to be doing one over there. So React Rally workshops. That's me. Anyway, that's it. You're awesome. I will see you later. Have a great night. I'll probably do some more tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. Peace.